It has been confirmed that CASTORICE and Anaxia are characters set to be released in the upcoming patch 3.2, and there is a high chance that CASTORICE banner will be available in the first phase. This rather mysterious girl has caught the attention of many players, and there were previous rumors that she would have a very powerful kit. But now that her kit has been revealed, is that really the case? For those of you who are curious about her kit explanation, this video is for you. I will also discuss some pros and cons of this character, so make sure to watch until the end. So let's get this video started. CASTORICE is a 5-star limited character with the quantum element, following the path of remembrance. As a remembrance character, she possesses a memosprite, a dragon that can be seen in her splash art. This character deals HP scaling AoE damage, and similar to Jingliu, she can drain her allies' HP to activate her ultimate. Like Acheron and Fei Xiao, her ultimate has a 0 energy cost and can only be activated when HP is lost or restored within the team. This is crucial because her memosprite can only appear in battle when CASTORICE uses her ultimate. Additionally, CASTORICE can revive all fallen allies, but each character can only be revived once per battle. The stats gained from leveling her traces include increase in crit rate, a boost in quantum damage, and increase in crit damage. Her basic attack is nothing special, as it's simply a single target attack that scales off her HP. For her skill, CASTORICE sacrifices 40% of her allies' HP, then attacks 3 enemies. The primary target receives quantum damage equal to 50% of max HP, while adjacent enemies take 30% of her max HP. When her memosprite is present, this skill becomes enhanced. The key to summoning her dragon lies in her ultimate and talent. CASTORICE has a special energy system called Stamen Nova, which is calculated by multiplying the total level sum of all teammates by 100. If all teammates are at max level, the Stamen Nova cap is 32k. For every 1% HP lost by allies, CASTORICE gains 1 point of Stamen Nova and increase both her and her dragon's damage by 20%, stacking up to 3 times and lasting for 3 turns. Once Stamen Nova reaches its maximum value, CASTORICE can finally use her ultimate. And it is through her ultimate that CASTORICE is able to summon her memosprite. Upon activation, the dead dragon, CASTORICE memosprite, will gain 100% action advance. At the same time, she creates the Territory Lost Netherland, which reduces all enemy all-type rest by 20%. If the damage boost effect from CASTORICE talent is active, this effect is also extended to the dead dragon. Dead dragon has a 140 speed and a max HP equal to 100% of the max Stamen Nova. This means that if the Stamen Nova cap is at 32k, then Dead Dragon will also have a 32k max HP. As a result, having higher level teammates in the party will technically increase Dead Dragon's max HP. Once Dead Dragon has acted 3 times, or if its HP reaches 0, it will disappear, and the Territory Lost Netherland will be dispelled. When CASTORICE uses her enhanced skill, she will once again consume 50% of all allies' HP, except for the Dead Dragon, and will launch a joint attack. It is also important to note that while Dead Dragon is present in the battle, any HP loss inflicted on the team will no longer restore Stamen Nova points. Instead, it will heal Dead Dragon's HP. So how about her dragon skill and talent? Dead Dragon's attacks and abilities can be controlled. Its basic attack, or Q, is an AoE attack that deals quantum damage based on 30% of CASTORICE's max HP. What makes Dead Dragon unique is its skill, or E, which can be used repeatedly. Each activation consumes 25% of Dead Dragon's HP and deals 30%, 34%, and 38% of CASTORICE's max HP as damage, with the damage multiplier increasing with consecutive uses. If Dead Dragon's HP drops below 25% while using this skill, it will self-destruct, launching 6 instances of bounce damage to a random target, each instance scaling from 50% of CASTORICE's max HP. But Dead Dragon's power doesn't stop there. While present in the battle, it acts as a backup for allies. When allies take damage, their HP cannot drop below 1, and instead, Dead Dragon absorbs the excess damage, taking 500% of the original damage until it disappears. Additionally, it reduces the entire team's damage taken by 10%, providing further protection. So does the kit of CASTORICE memosprite Dead Dragon. What do you think? Is it overpowered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. When that dragon leaves the battle, it will restore HP to all allies by 10% of CASTORICE's max HP plus 250. This effect is granted by her first trace. Her second trace enhances Stamina Nova recovery. Previously, Stamina Nova points could only be restored through HP consumption, but with this trace, excess healing also contributes to Stamina Nova points. If that dragon is not on the field, 100% of excess healing will be converted into ultimate points for CASTORICE. However, if that dragon is present, excess healing will restore its HP instead. The third trace grants both CASTORICE and that dragon a 40% speed boost when their HP is above 50%. This is actually a great effect because it allows her best in slot relic set to activate even before the battle starts. And since CASTORICE has naturally low speed, this trace helps mitigate that weakness. As for her technique, activating it puts CASTORICE into that idle state for 20 seconds, preventing enemies from approaching her. Upon entering battle, that dragon will immediately be summoned with only 50% of its max HP. Additionally, at the start of the battle, CASTORICE will instantly consume 40% of all allies' HP, granting her a 30% of her maximum Stamina Nova points. And here's an extra piece of broken information. If you own CASTORICE on your account or use her in battle, your teammates will gain a passive effect called Lunar Cocoon. When an ally receives a killing blow, instead of immediately going down, they enter the Lunar Cocoon state, allowing them to take one last action before dying. If they receive healing or a shield before their next turn, Lunar Cocoon is removed and they survive. Otherwise, they will be downed immediately after their action. This effect can only trigger once per battle. But here's the most insane part. You don't even need to bring CASTORICE in your team to activate it. As long as you have put her on your account, this passive will always be active. That is actually insane. And yes, in the future there will be more characters with passives like this. So let's just wait and see. Now let's move on to her eidolons. Her first eidolon increases that dragon's damage by 30% each time it uses Dim Scorched Breath, or its E. This effect can stack up to 6 times, further enhancing its offensive capabilities. Her second eidolon grants CASTORICE 2 stacks of Ardent Will each time she summons that dragon. These stacks compensates for the HP consumption caused by that dragon by giving CASTORICE a 100% action advance and boosting her next enhanced skill by 100%. Her fourth eidolon provides 20% incoming healing bonus for all allies, improving overall team sustain. Finally, her sixth eidolon increases Quantum Rest Span by 20% for both CASTORICE and that dragon when they attack. Additionally, that dragon will no longer leave the battle on its own after acting 3 times, making it a more persistent presence in combat. In my personal opinion, none of CASTORICE's eidolons are game-changing, except her E2 and E6, as most of them simply increase her damage rather than introducing new mechanics. However, if I had to pick the most valuable one, I would say Eidolon 2 is the best. 100% action advance combined with the 100% enhanced skill damage boost makes it very effective for quickly eliminating enemies. But that's just her eidolons. What about her signature light cone? In my opinion, CASTORICE's signature light cone is quite overpowered, but it might feel a bit restrictive for future Remembrance DPS units. The light cone grants a 30% max HP increase, which is already a massive buff for any HP scaling DPS. Additionally, whenever the user and their memosprite lose HP during their turn, they gain Death Flower, which allows their attack to ignore 24% of the enemy's defense. When the memosprite leaves the battle, the user gains a 12% action advance, ensuring faster follow-up actions. However, this effect resets after using one ultimate. So far, this light cone is great as it boosts HP scaling DPS units, provides Death Ignore, and grants an action advance for better turn economy. However, I'm not sure it's worth pulling just for its flexibility, as it only truly works for CASTORICE and the passive activation might be too complicated for future Remembrance DPS units. So is Sunday a good teammate for CASTORICE, or should you use RMC or even Mayday as a secondary DPS? Using Sunday in the same team as CASTORICE is definitely viable, especially since his action advance can also benefit her memosprite. If you pair Sunday as a support, you will end up with more front-loaded damage, which is great for quickly bursting down enemies. However, that dragon can only take action 3 times before disappearing, meaning it will leave the field quickly and force you to recharge CASTORICE Stamina Nova from scratch. There will also be times when Sunday's action advance only move CASTORICE forward without that dragon, preventing her from benefiting from Sunday's 40% damage boost, leading to inconsistent damage output. On the other hand, RMC provides a much more stable buffing experience. Since their action advance triggers less frequently, there's less front-loaded damage, but in return, that dragon stays alive longer, meaning Stamina Nova doesn't need to be recharged as often. This allows the dragon to continue protecting the team with its talent, ensuring a more defensive and consistent playstyle. So in the end, both Sunday and RMC are fine choices. It just depends on whether you prefer burstly front-loaded damage or a more stable, sustained playstyle. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. CASTORICE is a unique and overpowered unit. Not only does she deal massive damage, but some aspects of her kit also provide team-wide buffs, such as her ultimate's enemy respawn reduction. After analyzing her eidolons, I feel that she doesn't heavily rely on them, which is a big advantage, unlike Aglia who needs E1 for 100% ultimate uptime. CASTORICE eidolons primarily boost her damage, at least for E1. On top of that, her passive ability grants a revival effect, which activates just by owning her. This is extremely broken and could be game-changing if future enemies start dealing massive one-shot damage to the team. Her traces also make character building much easier, especially with a free 18% crit rate, which is almost too good to be true. While this is out of meta, her animations are insanely good, which could be reason enough for some players to pull her. However, CASTORICE is not exactly beginner friendly. Her constant HP consumption makes her less accessible to new players, as limited sustain options might struggle to keep up with her HP drain. While excess healing contributes to Stamina Nova recovery, it only applies to overhealing, meaning you need a high output healer, and not all abundance units can provide that level of sustain. Additionally, Remembrance as a pet is still new, making light con options very limited, so the safest option is to secure her signature LC, or wait for future patches that introduce better Remembrance light con with max HP buffs or other relevant bonuses. That's the full breakdown of CASTORICE kit for now. What do you guys think? Are you definitely still pulling for CASTORICE, or are you still waiting for version 3 instead? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more news and updates, because next I'll be covering Anaxa's full kit. Stay safe, stay happy, and I will see you guys again.